So I'm looking at the lineup for new race games in 2023, and I see WRC 23. So it's been handed over to Codemasters. And I can tell you that the last 5 games from Codemasters sucked. The rally sucked. Yeah. Um, some of the WRC content I liked, but now this is what they're going to do here. So they're getting away from racing, and they're going to start the same crap that Gran Turismo's doing, where you have to build your car from the ground up. Oh, excuse me. You get to build your car from the ground up. You get to pick your motor and your drivetrain. And I'm like, see, they're trying so desperately to make something other than a driving game because it sucks. Their physics suck. They can't make the game feel real, and therefore people try it, they throw it away, they don't recommend it. I mean, I don't know, WRC 9 was recommended to me, and I found some of the content drivable, but the majority of it was the same thing. My car would not respond to input. I mean, if you look at what happens in a rally car when you're driving, it's the same thing. It's the same way it looks when I'm on my sim chassis and I'm using that BMW wheel there. It's like this. You're working the whole time, okay? Because your car is basically doing this. And for some reason that is, again, not my field, but I can tell you that being a pro driver, that these games just feel atrociously fucking bad. No response. I'm trying to get the wheel, you turn the wheel and nothing happens, and all of a sudden this big heavy weight. It's like you're driving through molasses. And that, I'm sorry to say, is not real world. And now you're going to compound it by not even letting me race. You're going to try to get me into this game mode where I'm having to build my cars. And no, listen, once I get a car set up, since the physics on every track is going to be identical, I'm done. I don't want to piddle fuck around with, calibrating anything. I don't want to have to mess around, having to, change this setting for this track and this setting for that track and change out my motor and get an oil change. And I mean, I really just abhor racing sims that are like that. That's why Dirt Rally 5 is a fucking clown show. They thought that having pretty lights flashing in your face and shit was going to make the game better. No. It feels horrible. Everything is, and now listen, I talked about Isle of Man TT being the same way, okay? That being a professional bike rider for my entire life, that I can lay a bike over, go through the cones just like that on a 1000. And on a small bike, you can go through there even quicker. But then you get on this, $50,000 TT bike, and you're trying to get it to lay over, and it just doesn't want to lay over. It doesn't want to react. And then you put on the brake, and it goes and comes to a stop like that. Just everything about the game was just horrible. But now I see that they're going to rework all the physics. That was the first thing they said they were going to do in 2023 for the Isle of Man, is we are going to rework the physics to try to make it more realistic. Thank you. I will at least try your game. Because I had 2 TT games now that did the same thing. Okay? And I think Xbox had what was that? It was a street bike game. And like the first 2 or 3, you could actually get the bike to rotate about like that, just like you would with a real bike. Into that corner, into this corner, into that corner, into this corner. That's about the speed you should be able to turn your bike. It's not like and then you have to end up letting off the throttle and slowing down because you can't cut into the apex because there's nothing, they were all dead feeling. There was nothing there to let you know what you were doing. I think the first two games were okay, and then they went to that physics. And they've all stuck with that physics to this day, which is why, being as big a motorcycle aficionado as I am, I just could not play any of those fucking games. They were not just bad, but they were unpleasant to play. They were frustratingly bad to play. They were, again, the chunky, weighty physics that just couldn't keep up with reality and how things actually work. So I don't think Codemasters is, because I've tried all the other rally games. After the one they collaborated with Sony, and I tend to think that Polyphony was in there. I really do. I think Polyphony gave them some help, because that was a Sony Codemasters cooperative venture, which is why we have, just like the Fanatic box. That box, that Elite right there is not a DD Pro, but it will play better than a DD Pro. Better than a DD Pro. I've been on a DD Pro. I've been on a DD1. Okay, I will keep my Elite. This is a PlayStation certified box. This is not just a PlayStation compatible like the wheels, okay? One of these wheels right there is PlayStation certified, and one of these wheels is PlayStation compatible. And you can tell because this one has real PlayStation buttons on it and was certified by PlayStation. This one did not. It came with computer buttons. So we'll see. I'm excited about at least having some new games to play, and I just wish one of them would get it right. Okay? Let me just show you something here. Let's just try this. No, fuck you. Oh, Jesus. I swear, YouTube is nothing but commercials anymore. Nothing but fucking commercials. Just absolutely terrible. Here we go. Rally driver, cockpit view. Okay, so this is in-car footage. Here we go. This is Jedrick 555. I know he tells everybody that. I won't show much of this. I just want people to be able to see what's going on with the steering wheel, okay? In a rally car when you're driving rally. Here we go. Now, look at the steering wheel. See that? That's not, he doesn't feel like he's got a fucking Bradley sitting in his trunk. See the rapid motions. Rapid, 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 rapid. Can I tell any of these guys that again? Rapid movement of the wheel. That is how dirt rally plays. Gran Turismo, when you're in the dirt, it does respond well. I wouldn't say that it's weighty because it's not. It actually responds the way I like it to feel. It's just a little too smooth. Not enough tiny little adjustments. Okay. I've been waiting. I've tried them all. I gave them all their shot, and it didn't take very long for me to, literally 60 seconds. 60 seconds, and I knew instantly that this was going to be a horrible experience, and either I had buyer's remorse or I was thankful that I didn't buy the game and that I borrowed it. Very difficult. Very difficult. Let me go back here to my history. I'm going to finish watching this and see if anything else is going to come that's going to be. This is Forza IndyCar WRC 23. They're calling it WRC 23 to separate themselves from the previous versions. The Codemaster is now going to take over, and so they're going to say WRC 23. F1 23 and more. So if it's F1 23, it's probably going to be Codemasters also. And their car racing games suck. They don't have the engine. Gran Turismo, as far as street driving goes, pretty damned outstanding. I just have to say that because they've been doing it for so long and ultra fine tweaking it for so long. The fans are demanding, you know what I mean? As sim racing equipment has come along, Gran Turismo has come along with it. Forza, when I play Forza, again, it has that too smooth of a feeling, video game arcade feeling. I don't like that. I prefer the realism where you're about to lose control of your car at any moment. I love that because having a car that is unstable means that car will handle for you. I know that's not easy for non-racers to understand, okay? But you don't want your car stable. You want it able to react quickly. Um, unstable airplanes handle the best. You don't want an airplane that has a slow rotational speed. So let me finish up here and see what's going on. I thought that I should mention it. The TT is going to adjust their physics. The Isle of Man is going to adjust their physics to try to make it more realistic because I think they understood that people were turned off by that. Either your software was not understanding how fast you can rotate a bike. Now, if you're on it would take an awfully big bike. The Hayabusa didn't like turning, okay? But still, you could roll it like this, no problem. And in the TT game, it's like this, this is about the rate of rotation that you get, and it's not real. You can't have a flow into the corners that way. It stopped unrealistically, and let's hope they adjust that also. Okay. And that would encourage you more of letting off a little sooner and downshifting. You know what I mean? Instead of waiting until you get right to the corner and then slamming on your brakes so that you can make the corner without, because you can't lean the bike. That's how you played the game. Go into a corner, slam on the brakes. I've seen a couple of guys that can do it. I think it's probably because they've memorized the track. And so they can make it appear to be smooth. But if you put the everyday bike rider who's used to riding motorcycles in that game, they fucking crash constantly. Constantly, because the bike's not doing what they expect it to do. All right.